International stocks. Some investors choose to include them in their portfolios to gain exposure to equities outside of the United States. Other investors don't see the point and decide to leave them out of their portfolios completely. Maybe you're one of them. Well, I can't say I blame you. Over the past 15 years or so, international stocks have been known for their spectacular underperformance, at least compared to the US stock market. I mean, since 2009, the US stock market has had a compound annual growth rate of 13.15%. And the international stock market in that same period has had a compound annual growth rate of only 5.31%. The chart says it all. Given this underperformance, investing in international stocks is kind of scary, so we'd better stay away from them, right? Well, maybe. But in this video, I'm going to tell you why this maligned and often ignored asset class is worth a second look. Yes, believe it or not, there are reasons to be optimistic about international stocks. There are reasons why you might want to add international stocks to your portfolio. And if you already have exposure to international stocks, there are reasons to keep them there. There are 3 good reasons, and those 3 reasons are exactly what we're going to cover in this video. But first, a quick overview of international stocks and a reminder to hit the like button. Now, when I'm talking about international stocks, I'm talking about them from a US perspective. So I'm talking about stocks of companies headquartered outside of the United States. And international stocks can be divided into 2 categories: developed market and emerging market. Developed markets are places like these: Europe, Canada, some areas of the Middle East and Asia. Emerging markets are places like these: Africa, China, Russia. But those distinctions don't matter much for our discussion because I'm talking about the entire world's stock market. All of it except for the United States. So how do we invest in the entire world except the United States? Well, we can do it easily and cheaply with a total international stock market index fund. And my top choice is the Vanguard Total International Stock Market ETF. Its ticker symbol is VXUS. Now, there are other similar funds that are reasonable choices as well, but here's why I like VXUS. It's a passive index fund that follows the FTSE Global All Cap Index and contains over 7,000 stocks. Large cap, mid cap, small cap, it's got them all in there, and they're weighted by market cap. Some even say that this is the only true international fund because most other international funds don't contain nearly this number of stocks. Other funds weight more heavily to large and mid-cap stocks, but the FTSE index and VXUS includes a lot more small-cap names and a lot more stocks overall. And VXUS does all of this very inexpensively with a mere 0.07% expense ratio. So now we know what international stocks are, and we know the best fund to use to gain exposure to them. But what about those 15 years of underperformance? Why should we invest in international stocks at all? That's the question. So here's why. Reason number 1 to invest in international stocks is diversification. With VXUS, we're talking about over 7,000 stocks, nearly 8,000 actually. And there's no overlap between this and a total US market fund or an S&P 500 fund, so that's 8,000 different stocks than you would have without VXUS. Now here's something amazing. If you own a total US market fund like VTI with around 4,000 holdings in it, and you pair it with VXUS with its 8,000 holdings, you'd be holding around 12,000 different names. Holy shit! These 8,000 stocks are split between developed markets and emerging markets. In VXUS, it's 27% emerging markets and 73% developed markets, with developed split between Europe, Pacific, Middle East, North America, Canada. So we have a lot of diversification with different regions and countries around the world. Adding even more diversification to this is the fact that international equities tend to be weighted to different sectors than US equities. Here are the sector weightings for the US total stock market and the total international stock market. Notice that for US stocks, it's technology and healthcare that dominate. For international, it's financial services and industrials. So with international stocks, we have diversification in names, regions, and sectors. Reason number 2 to invest in international stocks is value. If you've ever considered adding value stocks to your portfolio, or if you just like a good deal, check this out. International stocks provide value exposure to your portfolio because they're inexpensive compared to US stocks. What will the next 15 years bring? Well, no one knows, but we do know about the past 15 years. We know that international stocks have underperformed. They haven't had the same level of growth as US stocks. The result is relative value, a bargain. International stocks have a lower price to earnings ratio and a lower price to book than the US stock market right now. All that underperforming it's been doing for the past 15 years presents an opportunity to outperform going forward. Now, no one can predict the future of the market, but the idea here is that international has been beaten down so much that it's got potential for a bigger comeback compared to the US market. In addition, currencies around the world are currently beaten down compared to the US dollar, and so maybe that damage is already done, which is yet another reason that international could spring back nicely from its bargain prices. Reason number 3 to invest in international stocks is yield. All you retirees or soon-to-be retirees, you have to like this aspect. And all you yield chasers out there loading up on dividend aristocrat stocks or your sweet precious SCHD, all of you, check this out. VXUS has a juicy yield of over 4% right now. That's 4% on a highly diversified passive index fund. Pretty good, don't you think? It's more than SCHD. I'm just saying. Not only that, but if you hold VXUS in a taxable brokerage account, you get a tax credit back on some of those dividends. This is called the foreign tax credit. It works like this. Some of the dividends you get from some foreign countries are taxed in those countries. This tax is then returned to you through the foreign tax credit. This is a US tax break that offsets the income tax that you paid to other countries. Again, you have to hold international stocks in a taxable brokerage account to get the credit, but if you do, well, this is a nice little credit on top of the dividends. So there you have it, 3 reasons to include international stocks in your portfolio: diversification, value, and yield. Now, 15 years of underperformance, it's understandable to be suspicious of international stocks in your portfolio, but the future may not look like the past, and I think international stocks are worth another look. All right, that's what I have for you in this video. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, where I'm talking about saving, investing, and early retirement. Thanks for watching.